I've been waiting 15 months for this moment since the world premiere in Stockholm, Sweden, where we were in September last year. I finally get to drive the Mercedes Benz EQC. Welcome to EFTM. Mercedes-Benz first fully electric car, and that's an important thing here because this is a milestone. This is a big change for a company that will be going entirely electric. With even their petrol cars will have an electric component in just a few years from now. So the EQC is an important stepping stone for the motoring industry, let alone Mercedes itself. So we're going to take it on the road here in chilly, windy Torquay, which is just outside Geelong in Melbourne. We're going to see how it drives because this, for me, is the first potentially normal electric car. Sure, the Tesla has all the headlines, but this thing competes directly, you'd argue, with the Model X being an SUV. And in fact, it's priced competitively as well. Surprising in my mind for Mercedes to be priced competitively, but for a quality vehicle like this, with the range this has and the interior fit out, it's priced well, but does it drive well? So let's take it for a spin and see what we think of the Mercedes Benz EQC. So here's the thing, I don't drive a lot of Mercedes all the time, I own a Mazda. But I was lucky enough to drive a standard E-Class Mercedes from the Melbourne airport out to where we are here. And so it gave me an experience of just reminding myself what a normal Mercedes drives like. And that's important to me because this should be like a normal Mercedes. It shouldn't be an electric car. The current market for electric cars is done and dusted with people who want to be early adopters. They've bought a Tesla, they're good. But for people who are now coming into electric cars because it's becoming a thing, they're more likely to have been Mercedes-Benz owners, BMW, Lexus, whatever it is, because of the value and the price of these things. They're certainly not cheap yet. This car, it just drives like a Mercedes. I was driving along the freeway here, had the music up blaring, and I thought, geez, I better turn it off and see what the road noise is like. There's very little road noise. It's quiet inside, and that is one of the biggest problems with the Tesla Model X, from my experience. And then everything else just feels normal. The cruise control's in a normal spot, the volume's in a normal spot, navigating the menu, while it's not amazing with the MBUX, I'm not a massive fan, it works and it's easy and it's the same as any other Mercedes. So, if you've owned a Mercedes and you're thinking about your next car, this becomes a logical option. Yes, it's an electric car, yes, I can put my foot down and it goes like the clappers, it's 5.1 to 100 or something like that. You know what? I think it's too much power. I'll be honest. I'm coming out of roundabouts and I'm feeling like I'm out of control. I don't think you need that much power in any sort of car unless you're jumping onto a racetrack. So while it is powerful, while it has the electric drive, it actually doesn't matter, and it's more about things like range. So you're talking easy 360, 400 kilometers range on this thing. It's not going to get you as far as a petrol or diesel Mercedes. But with the charge network that ChargeFox are rolling out across Australia, which will in essence rival what Tesla are doing, you're going to have those destinations, you're going to have those highway charging places. So I don't think range anxiety is ever going to be an issue in a car like this with that kind of range. The average person's driving 30 or 40 Ks a day, they'll charge it at home with the wall box that you can get from Mercedes. $140,000 price point, 137 I think it is, actually cheaper than a Jaguar I-Pace, which is shocking to me because it feels like so much a better car. I utterly love the fit and finish of the interior. As I said, it doesn't feel like anything other than just a high-class quality Mercedes to me. Now, drive and handling, I'm going to tell you, I love it. I've flung it through some corners, feels good. I'm in comfort mode most of the time. I don't want to be in sport mode because comfort mode's taking out the bumps of the roads. Genuinely beautiful, genuinely surprised at the price. I don't know how many are going to come to Australia, but I can tell you right now the wait list is going to be very, very long. Mercedes has introduced a whole new way of selling these cars through EQ specialists, so you can only go to certain places to get them. In fact, you can just buy this thing online and then pick it up at a local dealer. They're changing the way they're approaching cars with this, and I like it. I like what they're doing. This whole car interior feels like any other Mercedes with the way they've laid it out. It's just slightly different in some of the smaller details. And of course, it's fully electric, so when you put your foot to the ground, it goes like the clappers. But honestly, once you've shown your mates that the first time, you're not going to do it many more times. Beautiful car, it drives better than I expected in terms of electric vehicles, and I can see myself owning one. I genuinely think that as a Mercedes goes, it has everything you want as a Mercedes, and my only big negative is they haven't created the frunk. They haven't created that space under the bonnet that Tesla created, and I do think that's a really cool thing. But they've taken a different approach to the design of the underbody chassis of this thing. It's a great car. I don't know, we'll probably get Prashant. I don't know if I'm allowed to get Prashant involved here, but you know, if Bowen would let me, I'll get Prashant involved here. We'll bring up the graphic. I'm thinking, when you think about price, when you think about the competitive landscape, when you think about how easy it is to drive, and by the way, highway autopilot, Mercedes call it cruise control because that's all it is, exceptional. Lane changing the lot. I'm calling this a 9.2. I think it's an easy 9.2, and I'm probably being unders on that. Beautiful car, the EQC, full details, full review, and full photos at EFTM.com.